The showdown is on now. Adam McGill suffered bad luck in the last race at Loretta Lynn's, opening the door for defending GNCC champ Bill Balance. And Chris Borich is back and ready to win too. Which one of these three will win this weekend in Ohio? Stay tuned.
Playing in the dirt, face full of mud, sacrificing flesh and blood. Playing in the dirt, digging in the ground. Oh, now I'm asking you, where you gonna be when it all goes down, 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 down?
Welcome to Racer TV's coverage of the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series. Jason Wygant here, Bill Balance, and the rest of the field gathered here in the starting line for what we anticipate one of the greatest showdowns we have ever seen in this series. For the riders getting ready, if you set the stage for this 2008 tour, well, this is going to be a classic. Riders coming in here with a lot of momentum, riders trying to rebound. It's on the line right now on Brandon Summers, Ohio's own. The rookie has grabbed the whole shot here. He's got $100 from ITP Tires in his pocket as a bonus, but more importantly, he's got track position. Bill Balance, Johnny Gallagher, and Adam McGill right there. The rest of the field screaming through these fields to try to position themselves. Look at the Can-Am rider, Chris Jenks, trying to make moves on the outside. You do not want to be stuck deep in the pack. Adam McGill doubles, tries to get around Summers. No! Summers comes back on the inside. That double backfired once they got to this corner, but look at this pack. They are snarling through right now. And McGill finally forces his way past Summers. Bill Balance now trying to follow Summers through. They get to the woods. Summers takes a spot back from McGill. Great racing so far today. Everything is on the line here as we reach the midpoint of this season. Let's catch up with Chris Penton.
All right, what are the conditions like today, Chris Penton? Is it going to be a mud race, or is it going to be pretty good?
I think it's going to tack up be pretty nice. This morning I was thinking otherwise from that, and we walked a lot of the track, and it was nasty this morning. But I think the morning race did the number on the track, and it's going to come around for us.
Beginning of the year, you were right there battling for podiums and leads. Last couple races have been tough. Can you get back there?
Oh yeah, I can get back there. I think we got the bike working well now, and I'm ready to put it up there.
How hard is it to test and stuff before you go racing? Did you learn a lot now that you've actually got some races under your belt?
Yeah, each race, we learn something different, and it's tough bringing a brand new bike out here and racing, but we got it pretty figured out. I've been doing a lot of riding and stuff off the track here, and hopefully we can bring a win home soon.
Yeah, Bithell needs that victory. Look at this field trying to find some traction on these steep uphill climbs here in southern Ohio. Right now, Bill Balance has taken the lead back late here in lap one. But Summers, McGill, they're all in there. Look out for the rest of the riders in the top six, and Chris Borich will be a factor before the day is done. We'll be back to the afternoon race in a moment, but let's check out the highlights of our 8 a.m. youth race. Riders age 6 through 15 doing battle on specially built ATVs. We do have stock classes, modified classes, and this Super Mini class raced exclusively by the Cobra 90cc two-stroke. Those machines are very fast, but today they had a challenge from the modified four-strokes. Early on, Josh Merritt, Michael Spalding, traditional favorites in this Super Mini class, were up front. Comes Matt Harris, some of the other riders that are always contenders, Jerry Welch. But then the modified machines came. Derek Robinson has been very fast all year long in the number 18, but they're coming by the right side of the screen. Ryan Early, here he is. Early is very young. In fact, he jumped into this class, pardon the pun, early. Only 12 years old, but he was going fast early in this one, and on adjusted time began to put the pressure on the Cobras. Here's Early again. He's a big kid for his age, and he was just hauling on that modified Honda four-stroke. And eventually, he caught the Cobra riders, had to do battle with Brody Livingood, Logan Fluharty, other riders in the modified class, but eventually Ryan Early held them all off. And remember, you got to know this name early. Ryan Early, your youth winner.
Jason, I'm here with our first place finisher, Ryan Early. Ryan, you got second place last week and you moved right up to first. So you got to feel good about your race this weekend.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah? Okay, tell me about your race a little bit.
It was real muddy. I broke my fender off and I just held her to the metal and it went.
That's what it takes. Thanks, Hannah Reed, for the interview. Thanks, Ryan Early. Remember, you heard that name early. We'll definitely be up here maybe someday with Balance and McGill and the rest of these boys. What a battle we have in our afternoon class. Brandon Summers battling Bill Balance. And how about their teammate, Johnny Gallagher?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it today a mud race, but we got quite a bit of rain, and the conditions were muddy very early for the morning race here. Things are starting to tack up. It looks like it's going to be a fun racetrack. I think there's going to be a lot of sticky clay sticking to the bikes, but as far as making it around the track, I think it's going to be a relatively fast, easy track from what I'm seeing so far, so I can ride that. I love this place. I've always historically done well here, so I'm really looking forward to a good day today.
Well, Johnny's going to have a lot of fans out here. He hails from Aurora, Ohio, but those fans can have a tough time telling who's who because these machines, like he said, are covered in mud. Check in with Adam McGill. Remember, he had won 3 in a row. Looked like he had 4 in a row headed his way at the last race, and then mechanical trouble.
Just had some electrical issues with the bike. Just pushing real hard up through the pack, started to have some fun, and the bike just it shut off. So the only thing I know is something electrical happened to it, and I have 100% faith in my team, my mechanic Sam, Tim Farr, Shane Hitt, my dad. I have faith in everybody that they've got my problem fixed, and I'll be back on top today. So I'm hoping to have some good luck behind me and get some momentum on my side again. I definitely want to put that orange bike on the box, and I want Taylor to go up there and get up there with me if I can, or we can both get up there and do a double burnout or something for everybody. So I'm wanting to just go out here and have some fun. I'm close to home, so why not go out there and play in the mud a little bit?
Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Yamaha, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and MotoTees.com. The showdown is on. Grand National Cross Country action from Ohio. Adam McGill and Taylor Kaiser, the 2 KTMs out front now. Balance and Summers right there. These 4 have been battling so far all day long. Don Ackerman, meanwhile, leading the XC2 class. He just went by. Bithell moving up. Josh Ribley is second in the XC2 class. Let's check in with this veteran, Matt Smiley.
Feeling not 100%. I hurt myself a little bit last week down at Loretta's. Pulled the ligaments in my thumb, and so I'm going to have to work through that injury today a little bit, but shouldn't be too big of an issue. Conditions are a little favorable. I think the pace will be a little slower than normal, and since I'm not on 100%, I think that might work in my favor today. I'm expecting to see some bottlenecks and a lot of nasty stuff out there today. It's not as bad as I think everybody thinks it's going to be, but there's still going to be sections where people are going to be getting hung up, so it's definitely going to be an issue. I had some decent finishes this year, but I haven't been on that podium yet, and I'm going to get up there and get some more top 5s, work my way back up into this thing.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of riders looking for momentum right now. Adam McGill had it, won 3 in a row. The mechanical gremlins got him at the last round, making some moves now on riders in another class, putting that rider a lap down, trying to maintain his gap over Bill Balance. But Balance now has that first win under his belt from last week. It's going to make him tough to beat midway through the year as usually when Balance begins to hit his stride. And you got Kaiser there in 3rd, Summers in 4th, 2 young guns on this tour trying to keep pace with McGill and Balance, and they've done a good job of it so far today. Who we have not seen so far up front is Chris Boric, who appears to be buried back in traffic again. It has been hot and cold for Boric so far this year. We'll see if he can pick it up. But next, our Rocky Mountain Spotlight. This week's Rocky Mountain ATV MC product spotlight focuses on protection, specifically protection for the front of your 4-wheeled ATV during GNCC style competition. Let's look at the Tusk Comp Series aluminum front bumper. At just $69.99, this bumper is made from high-quality, lightweight, and durable 6061 aluminum tubing with a full 1 inch in diameter for maximum durability. The bumper also features an aluminum faceplate that can be removed with the option of replacing it with a custom plate. The custom faceplates retail for $19.99. These bumper plates are made from highly polished stainless steel for a mirror-like finish, and they install with all the original faceplate hardware for easy installation. There are 4 different styles to choose from. The custom bumper faceplate retails for $19.99 and makes the perfect companion for the aluminum front bumper at $69.99. All right, McGill continues to lead here. Got a solid lead over Balance. So at the moment, McGill, who is hoping to come here looking for 5 in a row, but instead of just going for 1 straight, said this was going to be the drive for 5. But he looks like a winner today, at least so far. But these are long, rough races, and anything can happen. And now they're getting deeper and deeper into traffic. There are a lot of amateur riders in a bunch of different classes. You get in those riders, anything can happen. Let's check in with Bill Balance.
What do you think this track is going to be like, Bill?
I think it's actually going to turn out pretty good. I mean, we're going to have some bad stuff out there, but for the most part, it's tacked up pretty good. The motocross track looks pretty good. I think there's going to be some passing out there now that I wasn't expecting earlier, so I think all in all we're going to have a pretty good race, maybe not as muddy as what we first thought this morning.
Are you taking it a lot more seriously now that you got to win, but you're trying to come back in points? It's not longer about just having fun now. You want to win?
Yeah, we're going out there today and we're going to push with everything we got and see if we can put this thing in #1 spot again.
And talk about the competition here. I mean, do you feel they've stepped up, or do you just have some bad luck?
I've had some bad luck through the start of the season, but no doubt, I mean, the guys have stepped up. It happens every year. And, this year we've got 5 or 6 guys that's capable of winning every race. A lot of them's pushing some serious speeds, and that showed out at the last race when we come through them with freight trained all together, and seems like nobody can break away. So I think it's going to be some pretty good competitive racing all year long.
Well, it certainly is. McGill has picked up his pace now in that factory KTM, but you see Balance there right behind him. Oh, trouble here in the Warner Racing Can-Am pits. Chris Jenks, remember, had that bad start earlier in the day. They're working on that machine now. Let's go check in with Chris and figure out what's the trouble.
I'm not sure yet. Just battery went dead twice on us. Don't know. They're working on it. See what can happen. I don't know.
Well, that's the trouble for the Can-Am crew. They've got an all-new machine, and it's looking even worse right now because the KTM of McGill has been flying. But then what happened to McGill at the last round? He ran into some strange electrical, mechanical gremlins. And if you're Bill Balance on that proven equipment, he's had this Yamaha underneath him for 4 years now. They know they've worked the bugs out of that. And that might be the difference to allow Balance to get back into this hunt. Look at Balance bouncing around on this rough stuff. Brandon Summers, not quite as aggressive as Bill. There's a veteran, William Yoakley.
Yeah, I think it's going pretty good this year. I mean, I've not been as far up in front as I wanted to be, but, it's a lot better than what I had last year. I had some troubles with the new bike and everything, but, my National Guard Rocky Mountain ATV, machine is working really good now, and we've been doing, just constantly doing testing, and we've got a good working machine, and it just keeps getting better, and had a good race at Loretta Lynn's. Didn't have a very good start. I had a little mishap at the beginning. It didn't crank, but was able to make my way through the pack and come in forwards, which is pretty happy about that. And been doing a little practicing and riding and a lot of suspension testing between the last couple of races. So I'm looking forward to today. I think it's going to be a good track. We got a little rain, and that way it ain't going to be dusty, and it's tacking up really nice, and I think it's going to be a good day.
Yoakley with that bad start again has just gotten into the top 10. Meanwhile, look at this. A new leader, and it's Bill Balance. We could see how hard he was pressing in those field sections, trying to close in on McGill, and it's paid off. McGill must have made a mistake. And now the gap he had over Balance, he's about that far back under defending series champ. We are just getting started, though. So much great racing yet to come. Stay tuned to Racer TV. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Yamaha, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and MotoTees.com. We're going to check out the highlights from our morning ATV race here on Racer TV. These riders race for 2 hours at 10 a.m. There's classes for everyone. We have our utility classes, our super seniors, our novice and first-year racer riders, and the women's divisions that race out here in the morning. Today, the utility unlimited class got row number 1. And that's a big advantage, especially with all that rain we've had come down. They will avoid some of the roost. And riders like Rick Checo, Mike Benson all got out front early and got to take advantage of clear racetrack. Of course, clear racetrack, there's a downside to that. The trail isn't as well established here in the morning. These are the first riders to hit it. Our youth riders who raced before this, they do not race the entire GNCC loop. So sometimes the riders a few rows back can take advantage. And here come the women's division. Tracy Checo, Angel Atwell, Stephanie Parton, and the rest working their way through. Looks like Jen Albright just came through as well on the Geico TDI Motorsports machine. Scott Kilby, another hole shot in the 4x4 open class, battling with another Can-Am rider, Brian Buchanan. Michael Swift on his Can-Am out front in the limited class, battling with another Can-Am rider. That's Mike Penland, multi-time champ. We've also got the lights class, led by a Can-Am. That's Cliff Beasley. But the Kimco boys have given him some competition this year. That's Kevin Johnston and Ken Roby. Meanwhile, Checo getting to the lead in the women's class. There's Atwell, been challenging her all year, and Parton, who's also a former champ in the women's division. Those three can fly. Kilby continuing to lead the 4x4 open class, but watch out for Brian Buchanan, who has been on fire this year. Atwell going to get into the lead here about midway through this thing. It looked like the hard-working gal from Pennsylvania had this victory tucked away as Checo tried to work her way through traffic, but traffic truly was the issue. A lot of riders, a lot of mud, that led to traffic and bottlenecks, and one upset winner was able to take advantage of that. It was the veteran out of New Jersey, Stephanie Verkane, who got around the traffic and wins the overall, her first ever GNCC women's class victory. Atwell and Checo round out the podium. Doug Henke, back out of retirement, wins the U2 class, and Buchanan holds off Kilby to win 4x4 Open. And that's your morning race. Now back to the afternoon event. McGill in the pits. New gloves, new goggles. Taylor Kaiser, his teammate, right behind him. Woo! Look out! Almost taking out their crew members. They are in a hurry because the Yamahas of Summers and Balance, well, they're further up the trail. How about Ryan Lane, privateer out of Indiana, now moving into the top 5. Matt Smiley fighting through injury right behind him. And out of the pit lane and into the field, McGill has taken the lead back from Balance. So Balance made a mistake somewhere. And now McGill back into the number 1 spot and Kaiser right behind him. So the Yamahas faltered, at least momentarily. You can't tell they're orange, but the KTM certainly are on it. They're covered in mud right now and they're leading this thing. Here comes Balance. Our camera crew having a tough time figuring out who is who at this point, and here you can see why. Look at these conditions. A lot of rain this morning. The sun is shining now, but down in the lowlands, there's still plenty of mud. And sometimes these pro riders are the slowest riders through these sections. They will actually back their pace down to try to protect their vision, protect their goggles, and keep the mud off of their machines. They can go fast when they need to, but they're smart enough to go slow when they have to. Here's Balance splashing his way through. Good opportunity to put a few more riders a lap down. And give credit out. Those amateur riders, they're racing other riders in their classes. They're not going to just move over. They've got to race for it too. Look at McGill tearing up these hill climbs. That KTM, they got good ground clearance on that thing and plenty of horsepower to get to the top of that hill. But Balance is a cagey one, and he always positions himself for a last lap charge. Meanwhile, there's Brandon Summers. Now we have a report he has lost some time. We finally found him back there, but he's out of the top 6. Balance or McGill, who'll take it today? Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, Yamaha, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and MotoTees.com. Here we are in the Yamaha pits. Bill Balance readying himself for a last lap dash to try to get Adam McGill and win his 2nd straight GNCC. Momentum on the line. Balance and McGill both right now believe in their heart they are the man in this series. So this race could be pivotal to the GNCC title chase. Only 5 points will separate 1st and 2nd today. So mathematically not a big difference, but mentally this could be huge. And Balance has taken the lead over from McGill. McGill's going to have to dig down deep in the last lap. And I'll tell you what, these ATVs are heavy. They're covered in probably 100+ pounds of mud, and that adversely affects the handling. They're not going to be able to go as fast through the corners and the rough stuff as they did earlier on. Balance putting the hammer down here in the field, getting some clear vision, pulls the Scott roll-off string. This is where Balance thrives. It's not just fitness, it's strategy. He saves something for the last lap, and this is where he responds, picking the pace up. And now we do not see McGill applying any pressure. And that's going to allow Balance to take it easy when he gets to some slower traffic. He doesn't have to push the pace. He can wait his turn. And that's the difference year after year between Balance and the riders who challenge him. Boric has come close for the championship so many times. This year it has been McGill challenging him. When the chips are down, Bill Balance comes through, and he has won in the clutch here in the mud of Ohio. 2 in a row for Bill Balance, and some congrats from McGill.
Yeah, it was a hard race out there today. I mean, we were back and forth quite a bit, but the Yamaha runs strong all day long in the mud, and it's just a matter of trying to pick the right lines and not get hung out there in the bottlenecks and people hanging up all over the place. But we just put our head down and pushed hard all the way to the finish. There was a lot of lappers today because they had to shorten the track so much because of all the rain, but there was a lot of lappers to deal with, and they kind of spread us out and then bunch us back up, but I guess it made things interesting for everybody else. Everything's working great now. Everything's dialed in. The bike's working great, and we're ready to start clicking off some wins. These things feel pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. The KTM Baldwin FRE bike pulled me good through everywhere. The Maxxis tires hooked up great. I really can't say enough. I don't know if I could have got Bill, but I know today that he was faster than me. He was better than I was. So, hats off to him. He still got it. So, I'm happy. I'm happy I switched over. I went to a 450 today instead of the 525 to try it out. And I don't know. They're a toss-up between which bike I like better, but they're both good. So, I'll take a second over a third, but I'd rather have a first. But you can't have 2 first place. That makes 11, right?
Yeah, man. It was a really good track today. A little muddy, but lappers were a big factor during the race today. Got tangled with like 3 or 4 lappers, and it took me back a little ways, but I was able to charge forward and land on the podium. So I'm really stoked to be back up here. I had some bad luck the past couple rounds, and I'm just really happy to be back up here again.
So 2 KTMs in the box, but that's not where they want to be. Second and third. Bill Balance has got that all too valuable momentum back. Chris Borich all the way back there in 9th. Buried in traffic. They are still trying to sort that Rockstar Yoshihiro Suzuki out for these muddy races. In the dry, he can fly. Everyone was flying early on. Brandon Summers, Bill Balance, Kaiser, McGill. It was a battle between 2 KTMs and 2 Yamahas. Eventually, it would be McGill and Balance establishing themselves up front. As the mud got deeper, the ruts got deeper, and the machines got heavier because of going through all of those muddy ruts. It looked like it could be McGill's day. At the halfway point, he had built up a little bit of a lead, but a couple mistakes, some lap traffic, a lot of gnarly track conditions allowed Balance to get back into it. Balance kept the hammer down. The last lap, he had something no one else had. Pulled out the lead and the victory. And with 2 wins in a row now, look out. Your 8-time GNCC champion is quickly getting back into this points race. Can he win 3 in a row? Find out next week on Racer TV. I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.